What is up, guys? So Sports backing with another video, and in today's video I just wanted to discuss maybe the biggest question coming from the NBA draft, or the biggest question mark pick, I guess you could say, of the NBA draft, and that is Darius Garland getting selected 5th to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just thought it makes sense for me to talk about this topic, as the Cavs are my favorite team and I've watched them a lot last season. So getting into it, I just want to talk about the good and the bad and my final thoughts on it. So let's start off with the bad. So with Darius Garland getting selected 5th by the Cavs, and the Cavs drafting Collin Sexton, who also plays the same position as Darius Garland, 8th last year, there are some question marks about how they will be able to play with each other. I mean, both guys are maybe closer to 6'2" than they are to 6'3". They aren't the best defenders. I mean, Collin can maybe become a good defender, as you know, at least he tries. I don't know if I can say the same thing about Garland. And also the playmaking ability for both. There's questions with Collin Sexton. His playmaking definitely needs to improve. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, it looks like it'll never probably be like an elite level, but if he can kind of work on it, I guess maybe it can turn into something, but I just don't see it. It was pretty bad last year, but I mean, with Darius Garland, at least maybe his can, I mean, we're not too sure. I mean, he only played like 5 college games, so we can't really go too much off that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully their playmaking improve. Looking at fit, defensively, I think this team would struggle if they do play together. You're talking about having a 6'2" shooting guard who cannot defend, either it being Darius Garland or Collin Sexton. Teams will be able to expose that and do work with that, and especially considering the rest of their lineup. I mean, Cedi Osman is not a good defender by any means. Kevin Love is an atrocious defender, if he's on the team or not, come the new NBA season. And then looking at their center position, we have a ton of undersized centers. I mean, Larry Nance Jr., his athleticism maybe could be able to help with that, but I mean, he was one of the worst rim protecting defenders in the league this year. Tristan Thompson is a better defender than him, but I mean, he's not a lockdown guy. But I mean, he gives effort, so you know, he's an effort guy. So he's probably our best defense. Is he our best? He's not our best defender, but I think he's our best defensive big man. And then I mean, if you look at the rest of the roster, I mean, Ante Zizic, this dude has slow feet. You know, he's not a good defender at all. I mean, maybe he'd have more, success than Tristan Thompson and or Larry Nance Jr., considering that he's 7 foot while the other two guys are like 6'9", 6'10". So yeah, there's huge concerns with that. And I mean, there's also concerns with chemistry problems. Looking at it, how are these guys going to be able to get their shots up when you have 2 ball dominant guards? And then even looking forward to it, Jordan Clarkson is somebody else who also needs to get his shots up. I mean, he's a score first type of guy. He cannot play make at all. And then I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. also looks to be score first. So I don't know what they're going to do with all these guards, but hopefully, you know, it could work itself out. Looking at any other negatives, I mean, this could stunt the growth for either one of them. I mean, if you play them together, then the ball is out of the other guy's hands and they aren't able to grow as much. Or maybe you'll be playing one of them out of position. Like if you play Darius Garland at shooting guard, that's not his natural position. Or if you play Collin Sexton at shooting guard, that's not his natural position. So he won't grow and reach his full potential, so to say, either one of them. And then, I mean, you can say the same thing for if one of them comes off the bench. If you say, oh, we want to put Collin off the bench, maybe Collin will feel some type of way about that, and the chemistry could, you know, deteriorate in the locker room, because he's saying, oh, you know, he had a pretty good rookie season. He averaged 16, shot 40% from 3 and 80% from the free throw line, and he'd be like, wow, I mean, I did good, and you guys are putting him on the bench. What does that mean? Do you guys not have faith in me? And that could, you know, lower his chemistry, and that can lower his what do you call it? His like I don't know, but like it could like maybe mess with him mentally, possibly. I don't know. And then same thing for Darius Garland. I mean, Darius Garland being a high pick, you want to come and you want to start right away, so maybe he won't like that, but I don't know. Yeah, that's really the only bad that I see with it though. Fit and chemistry problems and defense. Yeah, that could be some big problems. Those are big problems. But let's move on to the good with it. Now, if you think about the good, obviously I did say fit could be an issue, but man, their offensive skill set are so amazing. I mean, talk about Collin Sexton, a guy who's able to get to the rim at will, a great shooter. He shot 40% from the field in his rookie season. He has great handles. You know, he still is a good scorer. And then looking at Darius Garland, he's so shifty. You know, the way he's his amazing handles, his great pay. Not great playmaking. I just said his playmaking ability was bad, but I mean, well, it's a question mark. If it turns out to be something great, that's amazing. But I mean, too, with playmaking is not only about getting assists. Playmaking is about setting up teammates. It's about drawing attention and then dishing out. Stuff like that. Orchestrating an offense. And these two natural scorers can definitely kill a team. Especially a team with bad defensive guards, like maybe the Hawks potentially. I mean, Trae Young is not really a good defender, and then Kevin Huerter. I mean, I don't know. Just thinking about stuff like that, how they're able to kill teams. Also, maybe they could blossom and become better. I don't know. What is the good from this? I'm trying to think of the good, but like, I don't know. It's weird. You could potentially have a CJ and Dame 2.0 here, potentially, and I mean that's great if you surround them with great length. But I mean, I feel like the good does outweigh the bad, even though I said maybe like two good things. Those two good things are extremely, like, they're enormous. They're enormous. If they do reach their offensive potential, man, this team is going to be amazing. I mean, not the team, but the combo will be amazing. And they're both still young, so both of them can mold and get better and groom with each other. So you love to see that. Thinking about it though, as my fan, I don't know what it's doing. I'm sorry for that background noise, but with these two, more than likely Jordan Clarkson will have to be traded, because I don't know how they're going to combat having 4 guards that are score first, and Darius, Garland, Collin, Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, and Kevin Porter Jr. So he's probably gone. Me personally, my final thoughts, I would love to see Collin, Sexton come off the bench and Darius Garland start, just because Collin Sexton was atrocious to start there. He was horrid, and he picked it up after the All-Star break when they put Brandon Knight in the starting lineup. Brandon Knight is a guard who doesn't have to get his shots up to have a good game. He's maybe like a pass first type of guy. If you start Garland with Knight, that'll possibly be good, or maybe like an off-ball type of guy, maybe even Matthew Dellavedova, and then have Sexton and Knight off the bench. That'd be something good to do. But I mean, either way, you're gonna have to get some great defenders to combat this team. I know there's a trade out there. Kevin Love maybe kind of requested a trade, so you maybe look to trade him to Portland and try to get like Nasir Little, who's a great defender. Well, I mean, he has a great defensive body, so that'd be good. And get some length. You're gonna need length to sort of combat that missing length that you have at the guard positions. But I mean, all in all, I think this will work out. In my opinion, I do. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those guys that when the pick was made, I was so confused. I didn't really like it, but now after sleeping on it and having a few days to process it, I think this is a great trade for them. I mean not great trade, great pick, excuse me. For the Cavs perspective, they don't really have much talent outside of Collin Sexton and maybe J.D. Osman for talent for the future at that, excuse me. So I mean, you needed talent over fit no matter what. But I mean, yeah, I think the future is definitely bright in Cleveland. As I can say, if you can get some great 3-and-D guys to round out that offense or that team, some lengthy, versatile guys, and maybe like a strong, tall, big man, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be in a good spot. But yeah, that's gonna really do it for this video, guys. I just want to give my input on that topic. Let me know if I want to talk about some other things. Looking at some other maybe draft topics I could talk about. I don't know what else. The Suns draft I could potentially talk about. I don't know. Well, I'll talk about other teams and their drafts and what I feel about that and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video though. But it's been So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.